Hey everybody, this is my 580 mock web seminar, and for this I'm going to go to listen only mode, and they would be able to reply just to the chat box. And I just would first start off asking, can everyone hear me? And then they could just use my mood, give a thumbs up, yes. And once I got that everybody can hear, we would just start. And the first thing I would do is come over here to my polls just to get an idea of where people stand and their current knowledge about the knee. So I might go to, does anyone have prior experience with knee anatomy? They can start voting. If it were me, I would go right here, submit my vote. And then I might also ask, has anyone ever injured their knee before? So if they didn't have any prior experience learning about the knee, they may have some just from personal experience, injuries, things of that nature. I have not, so I just click on no, submit the vote. And that just, like I said, gives me an overview about any prior knowledge that they might already have. Close polling. And I would like to share, start off with my PowerPoint presentation about the knee. And this is just an X-ray version of a knee. And then anytime I talk about any anatomy of the body, I like to start off with the bony anatomy first. So here we are. There's our four major bones that comprise the knee joint. The femur here, tibia, the fibula, and the patella. And we just have a few different views here, front, side, and back view, just so everybody can get a visual of how all the bones articulate with each other and how they fit together. Patella is unique in the sense that it doesn't connect to the other bones with ligaments like all the other ones do. It is held on kind of loosely, as a matter of fact, with the patellar tendon, and we'll get to that later. And that just allows it to glide up and down the femoral and tibial condyle as the knee flexes and extends. We talk about the meniscus. The knee has two meniscus, a medial meniscus and a lateral meniscus. They're comprised of fibrocartilage discs, and they provide cushion and stability, sort of acting like shock absorbers for the knee. So you can see here, this is the tibial plateau, and what's missing here is the femur. So this would fit directly over the top of that. And it just maintains a little space and keeps the bones from rubbing together. Only the outer third of the meniscus have a blood supply, which is important. If there's any injury to meniscus, or any body part, it's important that there is an adequate blood supply for the healing process. So it's important to know that if there's not an adequate blood supply, like there's not in the meniscus, any sort of injury will require a surgery to fix that, as it will not heal on its own. Now the ligaments that connect the four bones together, there are four major ligaments that can be found in the knee structure. The anterior cruciate ligament, or the ACL, the posterior cruciate ligament, known as the PCL, the lateral collateral ligament, also known as the LCL, and the medial collateral ligament, the MCL. And again, we have a posterior or back view of the knee, anterior or front view of the knee, just to see how they fit together. The ACL, they all connect the femur and tibia together. The ACL prevents the femur from sliding forward on the tibia. The PCL keeps the femur from sliding backward on the tibia. And both the medial and lateral collateral ligaments keep the femur from going side to side on the tibia. anytime there's an injury to one of these ligaments, there's a risk for meniscal damage, as the bones can slide and scrape across those meniscus, causing possible tears. And then we move on to the joint capsule. The knee is completely surrounded by a fluid-filled capsule. It is the largest found in the body. It is filled with what is called synovial fluid, which is, you can see through this purple part of this diagram here, and that just lubricates the joint, allows it to operate and move without friction, and it's divided into 4 regions: posterior lateral, posterior medial, anterior lateral, and anterior medial. And anytime there is a injury or a tear in the sac, you will see what is referred to as water on the knee, very squishy, very swollen appearance of the knee. And here we see the muscular of the knee. All muscles surrounding the knee are they're responsible for all movement around the knee joint. So here on the far right, we see the rectus femoris, the vastus intermedius, the vastus lateralis, the vastus medialis, and all these 4 muscles comprise or make up the quadriceps, or more commonly just referred to as the quads. And this is what I was talking about here, the patellar tendon coming off the rectus femoris. You can see where the patella is here, just covered up by that and held on by the patellar tendon. Here we have a posterior view, or the back part of your thigh. The semitendinosus, the semimembranosus, and the biceps femoris all make up what we call the hamstring group. And then below that we have the gastroc, gracilis, and the plantaris, and these all are responsible for knee flexion. And then here on the lateral side of the knee, or side view of the knee, you can kind of see how some of the hamstring group comes into this, and also the quadricep group. And here we have the iliotibial band, also referred to as the IT band. And next we will go on to the bursa. Also, like the synovial membrane, provides lubrication so that the knee may move smoothly and without problem. And this is just a real quick overview of the PowerPoint presentation. I would go into much more depth if I had the time. Screencast-O-Matic's really only allow me 15 minutes. So we're going to close that. And then after the PowerPoint presentation, I might just ask, the class, is everybody on the same page up until this point? Does anybody have any questions? And again, they can go to the mood. They either click yes if they have a question, or no if they don't, or if everybody feels that they have a good understanding of what's going on, they can just give the thumbs up. After that, I would like to go and share a YouTube video, which I've already previously uploaded. And I would want to give the PowerPoint presentation first, just to give the students a very general understanding of what the knee is about. And the video actually goes into much more depth. And with this video, it uses 3D imagery just to give everybody an idea of what structures and different tissues, how they articulate, how the knee moves, and how everything interacts with one another. This is sort of a length of video. It's about an 11-minute video. Obviously we don't have time to go through the whole thing here, but it just sort of goes over everything that I've just talked about, and that's why I chose this video to go with the PowerPoint presentation. I think they work well together. They complement each other well. And while the video was playing, I probably just let the the video go and do its thing. I don't think I really need to talk a lot. If anybody had any questions or comments, we can go over here to the chat box and just sort of hash things out as the video plays. And just so, for example, you know, I might just ask, does anyone have any questions so far? And you know, using this YouTube video would allow me to interact with my students in a more effective manner than trying to instruct what was going on and try to respond at the same time. I think that's a good use for it. And like you can see here, like I was talking about, it sort of moves around and lets you see how the knee operates. So, but for now, we'll go ahead and stop the video. And then at the end of the presentation, I would go back to the polls and just sort of see, you know, how this presentation impacted the class. So you can see here, what is your overall consensus of this presentation, whether they didn't get anything out of it or they got a lot out of it, and everything in between, and just an undecided for people who not really sure where they fit into this. Hopefully it was a good presentation. I'm going to be the optimist and say that it was, so I'm just going to click on increase my knowledge of the knee tremendously, submit the vote. You can stop voting, close the polling, and that's just sort of my presentation in a nutshell. I'm going to have to make some tweaks to make sure I fit into the time allotted, that I don't go way over. And if you have any comments, please post it on the discussion board and let me know what you liked about it and anything that I can improve upon. Thank you very much.